Hi, I'm Mason Dukacek, psychometric test expert. Over the last 2 decades, the material in my book, Sales Utopia, has helped companies use psychometric tests to get the most from their existing employees and avoid hiring disasters too. Here's a question for you. Is your organization losing money and blowing opportunities because you don't recognize your employees as appreciating assets and treat them accordingly? Paul Zane-Pilzer wrote in his book, Unlimited Wealth, about a theory that he called economic alchemy. If you can remember, back in high school or college, we all learned about a medieval chemical art that was intended to change base metals into gold. Alchemy, as it was called back then, never worked, but economic alchemy, as Pilzer pointed out, can and does exist. For example, investments made in machinery begin to depreciate immediately. Investments in continued growth and development of employees actually helps them appreciate in value as measured by their ability to seek and discover more efficient and effective methods to produce results. For example, salespeople who sell $1 million a year, who learn new ideas and strategies that enable them to sell $2 million the next year, have become appreciating assets. Education and training that transform a $1 million a year producer into a $2 million a year producer is a perfect example of economic alchemy. It just takes a subject and applies a specific process that is duplicatable and turns something of limited value into something much more. And unless you're Marvin the mind reader, it's not easy to know what specific training and coaching different people need the most. On top of that, it's not easy to know if people have what it takes to consistently do what you teach them either. It's been my experience that it is short-sighted not to develop your employees as the appreciating assets they are. And it's also silly to waste your resources giving people training they don't need or won't apply consistently because a job requires them to act like people they aren't or don't want to be. In both cases, things like pre-employment tests and psychometric tests for existing employees can come in handy and eliminate a ton of guesswork. Using a psychometric test or a series of psychometric tests won't solve all your business problems, but they sure can help with a bunch of them. And we put together a series of video tutorials full of best practices that can show you how at reverseriskconsulting.com. Check them out.